there's a big difference between a favourite and a certainty.
Well, I thought he did very well as he breaks off very badly there, actually. But I thought he did very well from 2-0 down to Fu. You know, he really turned it on. He had the 1-3-3. Made a good 68 in the fourth. Hasn't left the red in bulk. It's come back into bulk. Not a good break-off shot. Let's see if Thepchaiya can knock this in. Fancy him for this. He's got his hand on the table. And in it goes. So that break-off shot could be a big error already, because Thepchaiya has to win. So he has to get to 3 frames. He's been a little bit inconsistent today. At times he's looked really good. At times he's made elementary errors. This is the time to really try and pull himself together. Doesn't have fond memories of playing Jimmy Robertson, who's won all 3 of their previous meetings.
6.
But the last of them was 7 years ago.
7.
Fighting for the right to join Michael Judge, Liu Haoshan, and one other player in Group F in the second phase.
14. 50. 20. 21.
So, angle on the blue to attack the bunch of reds. Got that pink full on the nose. But, looks like he's not on anything.
26.
Now, this is the kind of split that infuriates snooker players, because he hit them nicely. The reds have dislodged, split open, and yet just has to go back into the deep grass.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 26.
Yeah, he was unlucky there. That could have been frame over, and it could have been from the Jimmy Robertson break-off. Still 1-1 Mitchell Mann and C. Jarhui on the other table. Maguire v Stevens still to come.
You mentioned their previous meetings, Dave, and although it was a while ago, admittedly, on 2 of the occasions Robertson beat Thepchaiya Un-Nooh, he played very well indeed. In fact, their first meeting 10 years ago in the Wuxi Classic qualifiers, Robertson was outstanding. 100, 91, 90 and 74 the breaks he made. Un-Nooh well aware of the task he's got. Well, again, Thepchaiya Un-Nooh must have thought, when Robertson missed this, caught it so thick, he must have thought, I'm going to be bang in. And look where the cue ball has come to rest. Okay, he's got a possible thin red with the extended rest, but this is a little tricky. Not just the extended rest, Dave, the extended spider.
Or bridge rest, as Dominic Dale likes to call it.
Thank you.
He did well actually to get it out of the way again.
1.
Long bridge here. Well, he's already looking in good shape. I mean, the first time he was in, obviously, he was unlucky, really, not to land on a red going into them from the blue, but back in and
7.
chance for a quick kill in frame 1.
Eight.
In terms of the average shot times that have been recorded at the event, Ronnie O'Sullivan was 14 seconds just about. And Chia Xing Tong just a little over that. But look at that cue ball kept running. Still could take a red on at this end of the table,
30.
but not on the easy one.
Wasn't that beautifully cued? Just the application of enough side to swing the cue ball wide enough not to make any contact with a second or third red.
19. $20. $24.
So now it's about concentration to kind of keep things straightforward and simple. Just focusing hard.
25.
Taking his eye off things. He's come a little straight here, but he's okay. This season, I'm sure he'll be trying to work his way back up the rankings. He's starting at 52,
30.
having been just a couple of years ago number 15. Played in the Masters
31.
at the start of 2021, so it shows you how quickly things turned around. A lot of that was points coming off, but they weren't going back on. He wasn't winning matches.
$37.
Athletic Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. Youthful looking. But next Monday, he's going to be 37, so bordering on veteran status. Even though he plays what is clearly a young man's game.
Well, yeah, he lost.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. 37.
Ideal position, was left with that one, but he's missed it. So again, he's not been clinical, has he? This has been the problem. That frame he lost to Ian Martin has left him needing to win this match. He should have won that one 3-0, really. And then they would have been in the same boat, these two, although Robertson's 1-3-3 would have been the advantage for him. But it's a frame that, you know, he needed one red to win, and he didn't pot it. Didn't get nicely on it. Jimmy Robertson now, he's thrown a lifeline.
Yes, you bang on, Dave. In that frame he lost to Martin, he was so sloppy.
Jimmy
Now,
Robertson
though,
1.
Robertson needs a snooker. 4 reds on the table, only 59 available. Un-Nooh, 62 in front.
Yeah, counter-attack didn't happen. So Thepchaiya Un-Nooh has got to win the match, and he's okay. He's taken a few visits, but he's made a good start. It's raised the stakes here. This group looks like it's going right down to the wire. Either player would be an asset to the final stages. Jimmy Robertson had a very good season
4.
just gone, and Thepchaiya Un-Nooh is an exciting talent to watch.
5.
There'll be no playing on here. 67 behind, 43 on.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 5. And the first.
So it took a few visits, but Thepchaiya Un-Nooh has won the opening frame of the night. He needs to win. Robertson needs a draw. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh leads 1-0.
The champion of champions.
He looked like he had it won. He looked like he lost it.
You can't say that's the killer blow. Well, you can say it was a hammer blow.
Two devastating breaks. He's on the brink.
101 for O'Sullivan. He's got a frame on the board. He looked mighty good in doing it.
What a way to open your account for the season. I get the feeling it will not be his last trophy this campaign.
So Thepchaiya Un-Nooh has won the first frame of the last match of the day here in Group 22 of the Bet Victor Championship League. He needs to win this match. Jimmy Robertson can afford a draw. And we've only got 3 frames left, so it's on a knife edge.
By the way, if
Second
you're a
frame.
fan of Thepchaiya
Thepchaiya
Un-Nooh,
Un-Nooh to break.
don't send him a birthday card for next week. On the official World Snooker website, on his biography page, 18th of July is noted down as his birthday. But actually, he celebrated his birthday this year at the Crucible. 18th of April, the real date, so he's 37 already. The candles have been blown out.
Well, they've still got him from Thailand. That's correct. So it's something. Yeah, it's a strange position to be in, needing a draw, because obviously, in theory, he's got the advantage there. But if he loses this frame, suddenly he's got to win the last 2 frames. The mindset Gary was saying, actually, because he was in the same position last night at Jack Jones, you've got to come in just trying to win. You can't start thinking about trying to draw a match. When do you ever play a snooker match trying to draw it? But that's well, he was in trouble, but he's found more trouble here.
One. Eight.
Oh, what a chance this is, and again, it's all about just staying in the moment here, focusing hard, because
9.
it's already frame-winning opportunity for 2-0, and then that really does put the pressure on Jimmy Robertson.
My pre-match prediction is looking a little dubious. Mind you, has the cue ball travelled far enough for Thepchaiya to be able to squeeze it past the black? You know, a couple of times today,
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh, 60.
he's tried to do that and failed miserably on both occasions. Sometimes you've got to accept the fact you're not there. You're not on the ball. No amount of side will flick it in.
1.
Well, I can honestly say, watching this group today, I think Thepchaiya's had more scoring opportunities than anybody. But that one went begging pretty quickly. Now, Jimmy Robertson will be looking to make this one pay. Oh! Hang on, this has still got a chance. It's still got a chance. Wow, that could be massive. That could be massive in this group. Oh.
8.
The black tantalisingly tried to come away from the cushion, then
9.
started to hug it again.
Nothing he could do about that, but you know, he was in first with a good chance himself. Not quite ready to throw the towel in yet. It is hot in there.
Of course, Thepchaiya Un-Nooh
60.
comes from a very warm country. But when you're playing snooker in
70.
Thailand, you do so with the significant benefit of air conditioning.
Yeah, it seems in Britain, whatever the weather's doing, it's a problem. You know, in the winter it can get very cold. And right now it's very hot. It's going to get hotter later in the week. We've got qualifiers here over the weekend. That's when it's going to hit its
22.
peak.
$23.
Mitchell Mann has gone 2-1 up on Si Jarwi. This has got edgy, hasn't it? He's lost his way here.
28.
You know, when you look at where the Reds are, to finish there, you see the annoyance. So you can see the nerves here. They both know, obviously, this is the crunch match now of the whole group.
Jimmy Robertson, 28.
Definitely agree, though, that Thepchaiya Un-Nooh has had a boatload of chances today in all of his matches, and here's another. Not a simple opener, of course it isn't. But if he takes it on and obtains position, they are all there for him.
Yeah, the fluke, though, in the end, that black from Robertson made little difference. But you just get the feeling there'll be several twists and turns yet. It's just a very nervy feeling about proceedings.
1.
There's a powerful argument to say that although Jimmy Robertson is best known for winning the European Masters in 2018, last season was his best. He got to 2 ranking event semi-finals, British Open and Players' Championship.
8.
And you look at his ranking points, Dave, I think he does have a possible platform to try and push on to the top 16.
Definitely, he's 14 on the one-year list. That shows you how good he was last season. He beat John Higgins at the Players, didn't he? And kind of said it was his best ever win. Sometimes players, obviously, when they've just won a match, are going to,
16.
you know, maybe not see perspective. I mean, he's won a tournament, but yeah, overall, it was
17.
a great season, and not least because the season before he had to win a match at the World Qualifiers to keep his tour card. So he could have been into the Q School, he could have been off the tour altogether. But he turned it round really well, and it started here, didn't it? He got through the first phase of this last year, so he had some good early season snooker, went straight to the British Open.
24.
As you say, got to the semis of that, and so right from the start of last season, he was winning matches, he was feeling good, and he carried that through for the rest of the campaign. This has been a nervy frame, but Jimmy Robertson's building a nice lead now. 43 with this pink. So a couple more reds should see him home and make it 1 each, and then he would need 1 of the remaining 2 frames to win the group.
$31. 32.
Yeah, red in the colour should be enough.
37. Yeah.
Sort of just taken a couple of deep breaths here, hasn't he? He's got a little bit kind of well, too nervy at one point in this frame.
Thanks. 38.
So just 1 more good pot required. If he knocks the black in, then Thepchaiya Un-Nooh requires 2 snookers. If he doesn't get them, then Jimmy Robertson requires 1 more frame. Wasn't so happy with that one because he'd be hampered on this red, but as I say, 2 snookers
45.
needed.
Now all he's got to do is dab the red down the side cushion. The only problem, how on earth does he reach it?
Jimmy Robertson, 45.
That will do. Robertson's career actually not dissimilar to that of Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. We all know about Un-Nooh being bedeviled by wild inconsistency. And for much of Robertson's early career, that was the case as well. I remember commentating on back-to-back matches he played in the World Championship qualifiers some years ago. He was brilliant one day, mistake-prone the next. I think he has become more consistent, certainly in the last couple of seasons, Dave.
Yeah, and he's made an effort to bring that about. He's been consulting someone he can talk to and work on the mental side of the game. I think when he won that tournament, obviously, it came out the blue, really, and his own expectations kind of changed. There was a bit of a target on his back as a tournament winner, and it may be a bit difficult to adjust to. Well, obviously those reds not quite a plant to that corner. And that is that.
Jimmy Robertson.
As far as Thepchaiya Un-Nooh is concerned for this frame. So Jimmy Robertson wins the second frame. He needs one more, and he's our group winner. So we're right down to the wire now. Jimmy Robertson needs one of the next two frames. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh needs them both to be the group winner and to go through to the next phase of the Championship League. Winners' Week, where we have the 32 group winners going into 8 groups of 4.
Third frame.
And then the winner of each of those groups go into 2 more groups. And the winner of each of those contest a knockout final, best of 5, on July the 29th to decide the winner of this tournament. Well, he did that before, didn't he? He's got away with it this time because he got the double kiss, but that's 2 bad break-offs in a row. The difference this time, though, is he really has been fortunate.
Yeah, that will sting Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. Oh, great pot, though.
1.
Now, did the cue ball bounce too far to make the black available? No, it's okay. He's on it.
See, Jean-Louis has fought back to draw with Mitchell Mann, 2-2.
8. 9.
So he finished on 5 points. Steve Maguire, of course, he's on 2 with Matthew Stevens still to come. So that's very, very tight over there. Maguire won 3-0. He'd be the group winner, wouldn't he?
He would, Dave, because Jean-Louis on 5 points, as you say. His frames 1 lost record is 7 against 3. Or 7 against 5, I should say. Whereas Maguire's, if he won 3-0, would be 7 against 4. So he would just get the nod by a single
24.
frame.
But if it's 3-1, then it's going to go to the high breaks because the match between them was 2-2. This is assuming Maguire wins, of course, which we can't yet do.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 24.
Yes, in his first outing against Jean-Louis, Maguire made an 87 break. But in his most recent outing, Jean-Louis put together a 93.
Yeah, he wasn't too impressed with that one, was he? He walked away quickly and was still the red is on to the yellow pocket. I think they're both acutely aware here of what's at stake and what needs to happen. Strange position to be in, trying to win one frame rather than win the match. It's a little bit like getting sort of 4-2 up in a best of 9. Trying to get over the line. But this is a strange position, you know. As I say, when in snooker do you go out and try and play for a draw? Obviously he's trying to win, but in particular he's trying to win one more frame.
Five. Six.
The pink entirely hemmed in, and that rogue red going down and blocking the path of the black to the pocket.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh 6.
One thing about Un-Nooh that is consistent, Dave, he never compromises on shot selection.
No, he has one way of playing, and it either works or it doesn't, frankly. And it's still in the balance tonight, which one that'll be.
One.
Wasn't that just a gem of a shot? Not only the pot, which was no bargain, but the positional play was superb. Look at the angle. Look at the entrance to the pocket. So acute.
Eight. Nine.
We've said this repeatedly, but I think it's worth mentioning
60.
again as we see this black. There are certain pots on this table that might not have gone on other tables they will play on during the season. The slowly rolled shots, the top corners, I think are going in a little more regularly,
17.
even though they hit a lot of jaw. That black being a prime example. Different when you put pace on. The other thing about the table, Dave, it's like lightning.
24.
Yeah, it really is. It's been the case right from day one. This is now day 10 of a total of 21 here in Leicester. Well, it's become a little more adventurous than maybe he would have liked this break, and blue and pink out of commission as well. Trying to get nicely on a red. He's got a lot of space here to get on the red off this brown, and then back on the black is the plan.
$29. $30.
So, scores level in terms of frames and points. Robertson looking to put the frame away and secure his qualification for the next phase. And if he is going to get in the top 16, then obviously every tournament is going to count
37.
towards that. This is the first ranking event of the season. And so much of it, I think, will involve, if he is to climb the rankings, it will involve getting in that Players' Series, not just the Grand Prix, but the Players' Championship as well. This event is also the first
38.
of the Bet Victor European Series, which is an 8-tournament series with 150,000 for the player who finishes top of the order of merit. So there's a lot going on. The champion of champions, of course, if you win the tournament as well. But can't think of any of that right now. He's got to just try and focus on the next few shots.
Yes, thoughts of all of the ancillary benefits
42.
would fry your brain, wouldn't they?
Well, he's got to do the maths here, hasn't he? Because 3 reds, 3 blacks. He's 36 in front with 35 on.
43.
There's no reason not to play for the black anyway, but that's essentially where we are now. If he can pot the black here, 2 reds, 2 blacks, then Thepchaiya Un-Nooh needs a snooker.
$50. $51. $58.
On the cusp of being the 11th top seed in one of these groups to top the group.
59.
Even though it's early season, the form book is pretty much holding up. Not his highest contribution of the day,
66.
Dave, but probably his most significant.
Yeah, well, he's done actually in this match what he did against Fu, which is actually just dig in. 2-0 down in that match. Got the draw, and here, you know, he lost the first frame. He was looking a bit shaky actually at times, but pulled himself together well. Showed that self-belief that he's been working on. And now he's just got to guard against any sort of recovery. Thepchaiya Un-Nooh needs 1 snooker. Otherwise,
Robertson,
whatever
66.
happens in the last frame, Jimmy Robertson's our group winner. Good 66, that.
So much against Thepchaiya Un-Nooh here, not least, even if he gets the snooker, the clearance will not be easy because of the awkwardness of the pink. The blues doing no favours for Un-Nooh either. Not getting the snooker, mind you.
In goes the red. And through goes Jimmy Robertson to the next phase of the Championship League. We do have another frame to play, of course, but he needed a draw, and he's guaranteed that.
Jimmy Robertson 1.
Put together a very good 66 in that frame, and he has secured it, so he leads 2-1, and as I say, he's confirmed now as the group winner. Well, Jimmy Robertson will be relieved that it hasn't come down to the last frame. He's won the 2 that he needed, but we do have one more to see whether he ends up winning the match or if it does finish in a draw. It's 2-1 to him. Steve Maguire, Matthew Stevens underway
Final frame.
on table 2 in the last match there.
Jimmy Robertson moves forward into Group F in the second phase. In that group already, Michael Judge, Liu Hao Shan, and the winner of Group 14, which takes place here on Monday. In Group 14, Hossein Vafai, shootout champion, Ryan Thomason, who's a good friend of Neil Robertson, a representative of Australia, Tian Peng Fei, and former women's world champion Nagu Onyi. Nothing on the line for Thepchaiya Un-Nooh in this frame. Regardless of whether he draws or is defeated in this match, he will be in second place.
Mark Williams was in exactly this position last night, having already secured qualification. He made a 140 in the last frame against Li Hang.
9.
Yes, he went into the pack. Yes, they split
60.
to a degree. But he wanted a little bit of secondary zip
17.
off the bunch. Actually, the way that's turned out, he couldn't have been a whole lot better. The black will go, and he's got the angle to drop on the loose red just to the northeast of the black spot. Oh, but you've got to pop the black first.
Jimmy Robertson 17.
Yes, I mean, we'll hopefully speak to him afterwards, but it's been a bit of a mixed bag from him, hasn't it? You know, at times he's looked really good. He had that 1-3-3 against Fu. At times he's not taken chances, but he'll be delighted driving back to the South Coast tonight. In fact, he knows he's coming back in a couple of weeks' time for the last week.
1. Six. 7.
Well, if he's on the black, that's lucky, but he's probably thinking to himself, why don't I get that kind of luck when it was relevant, when it was useful?
40.
Well, he ended
50.
last season 52nd in the world. My prediction is at the end of this season he'll be higher than that. Okay, he can be a bit inconsistent, but there's no doubting his talent. Performance against Hendry last year in the UK Championship, and he just reeled off century after century, sort of thing Hendry used to do in his pomp.
21.
The Mark Williams under the
29.
body shot.
$36. 37. $44.
The record, Dave, as you know, for the quickest ever frame of snooker is 3 minutes.
45.
Tony Drago against Danny Fowler many moons back. I really do think that if everything falls in his favour,
52.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh could potentially
53.
break that record.
Put it this way, I'm going down now to interview Jimmy because I'll only just about get there in time, probably. The speed he's playing. Just slightly let that one go.
60. Foul.
Ah, well. Didn't mean the pink to go in.
60. Jimmy Robertson, 6.
Un-Nooh's lead is 37, 51 on the table. Robertson said, have another go. Have another go. All of the tension and the pressure is drained away. So too the adrenaline. But you can't complain about one of these groups coming down to the penultimate frame, can you really? They can't all come down to the last frame, which we've seen on quite a regular basis over the last 10 days.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a zombie frame, isn't it? This, it's sort of not going to count for much, but they've got to be professional. It always looked a tough group to call. Marco Fu faded as the day went on. Jimmy Robertson times had to produce something and did, and I think that's what he'll take from the day. There were mistakes otherwise, but 2-0 down to Fu, he found something. Lost the first frame here, he found something, so that must be pleasing for him.
Look at that from Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. What a pot. And that should seal it. 44 in front, 43 on. Not that Robertson is greatly concerned.
7. 8.
These groups can be strange. Sometimes a player can win a group with
40.
5 points. Sometimes a player finishes second in the group with 7 points.
Thepchaiya Un-Nooh, 40.
It's the former here.
Cheers, Jimmy.
Jimmy Robertson on frame difference has done just enough to justify